Okay, let's do this. I'm Chronix from Most Extreme Wrestling, and this is your AEW Dynamite review for December 1st, 2021. Man, this year is wrapping up. We're in Atlanta, Georgia. Tony Schiavone and Excalibur are on commentary while JR is away. But we're not going to be alone on commentary because for this opening match here, Adam Page, the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, will be doing a little bit of commentary for this match. It's Bryan Danielson versus hometown boy Alan Five Angels. And Alan Angels, he doesn't have his mask anymore. He's gotten rid of it. I mean, he might as well. He's a big face, if you know what I'm saying, here in his hometown. Literally, this man's taking on Bryan Danielson, right? And people are chanting for Alan Angels. Who would have thought that this would be possible, but it's happening right in front of our eyes here in 2021, albeit here in December. People are loving this man. So the guy's got a lot of talent, but crazy to see somebody, in the ring with Bryan Danielson getting so much love. But Bryan Danielson is a big heel now. He's much hated, so it's not going to take much to get the fans into this match. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Bryan, he's taking down Alan Angels. Look, this man's got some moves. He's got some speed. This guy's backflipping out of everything. You know what I'm saying? But Bryan gets him down with that single leg Boston Crab, and the fans they're not into this. They're like, "How are you holding my man down?" Even when Alan Angels is getting to the ropes, he's still slapping this thing on, not letting it go. So it's making it real easy to boo this man. You know what I'm saying? Alan, he gets a 2 with an explosive Spanish fly in the center of the ring. Alan missed moonsault and takes a huge knee to the face. And then Bryan, I mean, he's got both of Alan Angel's arms. He's got both of his wrists, and he's just stomping on this man's head, stomping on Alan Angel's head. I mean, that is devastating. How can you do this to another human being? Bryan, he slaps on a knee bar, and Alan Angels has got no other options other than to tap. He's got to give up right here in the ring. It sucks for him, but Bryan, he wins. He has a pretty formidable opponent, so I don't think that's going to hurt him too much. You know what I'm saying? So after this match, Tony Schiavone comes into the ring and interviews Bryan. He's got some questions. Look, in 2 weeks, Bryan will be taking on Adam Page for the championship in Dallas, or Garland, Texas, rather. They're against Hangman Adam Page. And first of all, Bryan, he says that, if this is the best that Atlanta has, well, I mean, he just kicked his face in, so it's not saying much, right? Next week, he's going to face another Dark Order member. And yeah, he's going to beat that guy, obviously. And then Bryan is going to go into Garland, Texas, and he's going to take the championship away from Adam Page. So yeah, better watch out. I mean, it's not going to happen, but still, Bryan, it's crazy. Like, it's still wild to me that it really doesn't take much to get people to hate him. I mean, maybe it's just Bryan Danielson's he's that good. I mean, obviously he's that good. But people, they love him. But he's just doing it's just the way he does the fans. He's working the fans, and it works. It's not hard to do, or at least not for Bryan, anyways. But you know what? Page has heard enough. Bryan Danielson is in the ring talking bad about Page, saying that he's a coward. And look, you can't call Adam Page a coward anymore. I mean, he is the champion. So he runs down there, but John Silver pops out of nowhere and is like, look, you can't, because Tony Khan had said that you guys this week, for whatever reason, you can't touch each other. So John Silver is going to go do that for him, runs down and chases after Bryan, but Bryan just ducks out of the ring, and he gets on the microphone and is saying that, he is beneath me, just like how Bryan Danielson is saying that Adam Page is beneath him as well. So it's not that he's scared. It's just that they're beneath him. So yeah, so they can't touch each other. I don't know, man. They just can't do it. These are the rules. It's just not going to happen. But in 2 weeks, Garland, Texas is going to be on. Championship's going to be on the line. It's going to happen. All right. Now, Tony Schiavone, he's done with this interview. We're moving on to Miro. Look, Miro is in a white room, and yeah, he's saying that he's going to storm the gates of heaven. I don't know what this man is doing. These are like his pre-recorded promos that aren't directly about anything, but just reminding us that he's still around. Although I don't guess he was on this show, all this stuff seems to be pre-recorded. So he's probably been chilling at home while these things play out week after week. Why isn't he a big white room? I don't know. I have no idea, but that's where the man is. And there's a man on commentary for this next match. It's MJF. Lee Moriarty, we've seen him be very impressive. Right now, he's going to be taking on CM Punk. So we're starting this show off with two big main eventers, or at least, main eventers of the past. I mean, they're still main eventers, right? But they're not main eventing these shows these days. Well, I guess Brian is going to main event in 2 weeks, but you know what I'm saying. Look, MJF is on commentary during this match. He's saying that Punk isn't what he used to be. He's old, he's tired, etc. We've heard these things before, but they are keeping this feud going, just incrementally, slow things, one little step at a time right here. Lee almost gets a surprise win here. Man is very impressive, very young, very impressive, but look, you get a GTS to the face. What do you think's going to happen? Punk wins this one. Then MJF gets on the microphone. He's got all his Hanukkah stuff on, like a suit. You know those little cheapish. I won't say cheap because I mean it's too expensive for me to buy, right? But they're like printed and they're much cheaper than regular suits, right? That's what he's wearing. So he's looking a little cartoony. He's got his little scarf on and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? MJF gets on the microphone saying that Punk just wants to get with Britt Baker, how he had mentioned her in his promos. He like came out after a show wearing her jacket or whatever. And I'm like, the dude is married to AJ Lee. Like, that's not even a good burn. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I thought that was lame. Calls Punk a one pump chump. And CM Punk gets on the microphone and says that MJF has a needle dick, which he has said previously, saying it once again and invites him into the ring. MJF, he's like, nah, man, I got more talking to do. Says that MJF next week, he's going to win. I think it's next week anyway. He's going to win the Dynamite Dozen Battle Royal. I'm like, how many match names? Like, dude, if you were like, I'm going to give you a list of 20 match names in AEW and like try to pick out the ones that actually haven't been matches, I don't even know if I could do it because there's been some wacky names out here. Not that this is not descriptive of how many people and what kind of match it is, but my goodness, do they come up with some match names? We got some going to be happening here tonight. So MJF, he says that he's better than Brett in Canada, better than Punk in Chicago. And don't bring your dog. Your dog has been back here. Your dog, Larry, he's been backstage yapping and stuff, and he's going to have to put him to sleep. And then Punk is like, oh, no, I have had enough. You've talked about infidelity, but now you're talking about putting my dog to sleep. Now it's a fight. He comes down to confront MJF, but Wardlow, he comes out and bodyguards there for MJF. And Wardlow looking very tan and looking very protective. You know what I'm saying? Protecting this man. MJF looking like a coward in this situation. Oh, my goodness. So these guys are going to collide. I'm still wondering, when is Wardlow going to come to his senses? When is he going to leave MJF? Oh, it's going to happen at some point. We just know this. It's just a matter of time. Well, what time is it now? It's time for Tony Schiavone to interview. He's got Britt Baker. Speaking of her, right? She's the AEW Women's Champion. And she's not alone. Of course, she's got Jamie Hayter with her. She's in a hoodie and no pants. Hoodie, no pants. Just a classic look. And Rebel looking like a snow bunny or something. She had this top that was very fluffy and white. Very Christmassy, I must say. I mean, it is December. And Jamie Hayter is going to be taking on Riho next week. And if Riho can beat Jamie Hayter, then Riho can get a shot at Britt's title. I don't care about this whatsoever. Riho's not going to win the championship. And I don't know if anybody cares about that match. I guess it'll be good, but nothing that they've done so far is making me think, wow, I want to see this. Like, we don't even see Riho around. And when she is around, like, does she even like cut promos? Oh, man. It's like Britt Baker's having to carry this entire thing leading into this. What is up with that? All right. So now we got Adam Cole, who, by the way, is going to have an action figure coming out in like a month or two for WWE, which is just crazy. This Elite 92 series, it's like I think more than half of the people are no longer in WWE, and a majority of them of those people are in currently in AEW. Wild. But yeah, he comes down to the ring just to do his boom thing, and then he goes to the commentary booth. Tony Schiavone, of course, is looking very tentative, knowing that, well, he's such friends with Britt Baker, and Britt Baker's husband is sitting right next to him in Adam Cole. Now, Orange Cassidy comes down for his match that he's about to have, but Adam Cole confronts Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy, of course, puts his hands in his pants, or in his pockets, rather, and the Young Bucks, they sneak around, like sneaking around behind him. Like he doesn't see him coming, right? And yeah, but Orange does see him coming. Turns around, starts giving baby kicks to the Bucks, and Adam Cole low blows Orange Cassidy, and the Bucks, they in turn give little baby super kicks to Orange Cassidy twice, but the third time they hit him full blast with the double super kick right in his face. Oh, it sucks. Sucks for Orange Cassidy. But the best friends eventually come out and chase those guys away. So, oh, better days for Orange Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even get to have his match. We don't even know who he was going to face. And Adam Cole didn't even get to do commentary. Oh, they just destroyed the whole segment. You know what I'm saying? I see a video with Tony Nese and his future match with Sammy Guevara for the TNT Championship. And then we got Wardlow. He's actually going to have a match here. He's got Shawn Spears on his side. He's taking on AC Adams. I'm like, who even is AC Adams? And before that question could be answered, Wardlow destroys this boy with 4 power bombs and gets the win. Shawn Spears then proceeds to destroy AC Adams with a chair, just devastating this man, completely demolishing, devastating, and just destroying him. All right, so Tony, our boy Tony Schiavone, he is interviewing Penta, it's one half of the AEW Tag Team Champions, and Pac. Yeah, so Penta, he doesn't have his normal partner, he's out, so he's got Pac, and he's only got one eye, so we're missing our other sides all over the place. Okay, Tony, he's done there. Back to the commentary booth. We got Taz joining on commentary, which I always enjoy. I love Taz on commentary. It's awesome. It's the Gunn Club. It's Billy and Colton with Austin Gunn taking on Darby and Sting. And I was pumped up for this because Darby and Sting, man, going to be wrestling. It's going to be nice. Sting has some Darby inspired face paint, and Sting has some. Wait, Darby has some Sting inspired face paint, and the other way around. I don't want to mess that up, but I already did. So check this out. Darby, intense. He is intense. He's impressive, and he's got presence. He's got all the things you want. You know what I'm saying? Sting tags in to face Billy Gunn, and yeah, Billy Gunn. Not much difference in age between these guys, which is crazy. Well, not a lot, anyways. Gunn, he ducks out to avoid the Stinger splash. Sting, like, I don't even think he took one bump in this match. You know, he was just like atomic dropping people. He was spine busting people, but then he wouldn't fall down. You know, he did the Stinger splash, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Sting doesn't have to take a bump. He's Sting. And, you know, it's not like he's taking up valuable time from anybody, you know, or anything like that. So, hey, you do what you can. I mean, he did hit the stinger, or like the scorpion death drop, so I guess technically he took some kind of bump. But he is not taking a superplex. That ain't happening. He ain't even taking a regular suplex, and that's just fine. Sting gets his hot tag in. He does splash some folks to get the scorpion deathlock, but no. Darby bounces off of people. He busts his head open. There was one dive he did on the outside where the referee, Aubrey Edwards, was looking like very concerned. This man gets back in the ring and is like bleeding. He hits another dive to the outside and just like bounces and rolls off of a dude. Crazy. Scorpion death drop for the win here. Sting and Darby Allin. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm such a fan of Sting and Darby. I don't know. But it was a good match. I very much enjoyed it. Now we see Jericho. He's wearing all black. What is this man doing? He's getting interviewed by Marvez. Jericho's mad about 2.0. And then 2.0, surprise, surprise, they come and they attack. And old Squarehead there hits Jericho with a chair right in his face against the roll-up doors back there. They always make the premium loud sounds back there. Jericho, because of this, will not be on commentary on Friday. Sad day for everyone. We see Taz still on commentary, channeling Big Papa Pump, talking about how his guys are going to statistically win the Battle Royal. They have like 125% chance or something of winning, which, I mean, it kind of drives me crazy when people are like, I 1000% say this, or, I 110% this. And I'm like, this is not how percentages work. But I get what they're saying. Regardless, I'm going to question Taz's math anyways. Lio Rush comes out and lets Taz knows that the odds are stacked against Leo. He knows this. They've always been stacked against him. But, when you say that there's 100% chance of your guys winning, even though technically he said more than 100%, that implicitly implies that Leo has a 0% chance of winning. And, he doesn't like this. Leo is upset that they think that he has dare I say, a less than 0% chance of winning this match. Leo says he's a fighter, and the fans know, the people know that he's a fighter. And Taz tells Leo to retire. Again? I don't think he'll do it. Well, not right now. And then Dante comes out with Ricky Starks, and Leo, he's looking crushed. He's looking sad, like he doesn't know what to do, what to think. Rubbing it in this man's face, Dante is looking happy. He looks like, he got those chips from Taz's son from Hook, and he was just so excited. He was so happy. He got these free vending machine chips, and his whole life has been altered. I don't know what Taz has been teaching this boy. I don't know what he has been instructing him on, what kind of knowledge he's been implanting in Dante's head. But Dante looking very satisfied and whole and complete that he is now with Team Taz. And Lio Rush just crushed, looking very sad and very defeated. I feel bad for Lio Rush. Don't retire, Leo. We don't want you to leave. We still like you. We still believe in you. I don't think that you have a 0% chance of winning that match. No, I think that you have more than a 0% chance of winning that big battle royal. That big, beautiful battle royal. Let's see it happen. All right. So we got Jade Cargill. She's in a big red fuzzy top. I mean, it wasn't big. Well, it was kind of big. I mean, compared to her normal tops. I don't know what the deal with her in the fuzzy tops is. She had the canary fuzzy top. Now she's got the red. Wife Becky Lynch is wearing fuzzy jacket. What is it with fuzzy? Like, is fuzzy stuff in style? I am so confused by this. Thunder Rosa appears and she will commentate on Rampage. She speaks in Spanish. I don't know what she said, but she sounded very fiery when she said it. And Rosa will face Jade at some point in this TBS tournament. And unfortunately, I think that Jade Cargill is going to win it all. But you know what? Thunder Rosa, she's going to give a heck of an effort, I'm sure. So the TBS tournament is continuing right now. It's Chris Statlander and Ruby Soho. And we start this thing off with some dueling Ruby and Statlander chants. Solid action, good counters. Chris is showing her strength. She was going from like setting up a Boston Crab to ending up in a turnbuckle power bomb. So it's like, okay, we know you're strong. We seen it. Ruby, she's punching and her kicking her way back in this thing and drops Statlander on her head with a poison rana for only two. And Ruby Soho's reaction was so great. Like her eyes were bugging out of her head. It was so impactful for her that she couldn't believe that she didn't get a 3. That the fans, it's just like, they were like, what? They were into it. Ruby Soho, man, she's great. She was pulling everybody in with this one. I couldn't believe it either. But Chris Statlander goes for the Big Bang Theory, and I was like, oh no, it's going to be over. But no, Ruby rolls this thing up and gets a win, surprisingly here. Or at least in that moment, it was surprising that it happened so quickly. Ruby shows some respect to Chris after the match. Ruby, although she is advancing, Ruby's advancing, and yeah, so Chris is walking up the stage and she's met by Vicky, and I'm like, what is this about? Nyla Rose attacks Ruby from behind, and eventually Chris Statlander comes to save, but Ruby, she's hurting. So, unfortunately, I think that Jade Cargill is going to win her match. I think Ruby's going to get beat eventually by Jade Cargill, and I'm sad about it. But if anybody can get Jade Cargill through that match and make it look believable and make it look nice, I think it's going to be Ruby. You know, Ruby's going to make her look good, but I think ultimately Jade Cargill is going to be your TBS Women's Champion. I think that's what's going to happen. But right now, what I do know is going to happen, it's a main event Atlanta street fight. Is Atlanta known for street fights? Well, they're probably not known for the street fight part, the fight part of it, but they are known for their brutal streets. Oh my goodness. I've only been through Atlanta, well, a couple times actually, now that I think about it. And every single time, worst traffic ever. Look, you talk about Houston. I've been through that many a times. Dallas, not even a problem. Atlanta, what is up with the traffic in Atlanta? Oh my goodness. They got like 100 lanes. It's madness. I don't even get it. It makes no sense. Like Atlanta, brutal. So Atlanta street fight, you know it's going to be brutal. You know it's going to be chaotic. Andrade, he's got Jose, the assistant, with him. And Andrade is taking on Cody, who's got Arn Anderson on his side. Their big, gaudy entrance with the pyro and the flame and all this. Andrade jumpstarts this thing, and they fight in the crowd. People are chanting for Cody. So people are still behind Cody. I was a little bit surprised. I thought they'd be more booing. There was more booing later, but to start this thing, not so much. I mean, look, they're fighting in the crowd. Of course, people are going to be going crazy and cheering. They're like, they're in front of me. You know, it's kind of hard to boo somebody when they're right in front of you. You know what I mean? Like unexpectedly. So, yeah, crossbody off of a barricade. Cody hits. Cody, his jacket comes off and the man is shedding. And I'm like, you know, why is he shedding? Like, that is not a sunburn. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know, if he was sunburnt, his skin wouldn't look so normal. You know what I mean? It would look a little more different. Like, I've been sunburnt. I have peeled. It is not fun. I plan on never getting that sunburn ever again in my life because it is the worst possible thing. As a light-skinned person myself, let me tell you, my goodness, does it hurt. Woo! And I can burn so easily if I ain't got that base tan. And I don't think Cody had that base tan either. I don't think he's got a real tan. T-Pain, he is in the crowd and he gives Cody a chair. I didn't even know T-Pain was still around. I haven't kept up with the man since he first started popping off and becoming popular, like broad scale. You know what I'm saying? Cody, he's got his belt. He's going to hit Andrade, but Andrade low blows him. Andrade, he's got a briefcase. What is in this briefcase? It looks like a laptop briefcase. He's got a rope. He's got handcuffs. And lo and behold, he does have a laptop in there, and it was a Chromebook. I could spot a Chromebook a mile away, and I knew what was going to happen. They were going to destroy this Chromebook. Yeah, so Cody takes a chair to the head. Andrade sees a table, but he puts it back. The chagrin of the crowd. The crowd is upset. They are mad because they didn't get what they want. They wanted the tables, and my God, they started chanting for those tables. So hey, Cody, he wanted that table, but it wouldn't happen. Andrade hits a split-legged moonsault. Rob Van Dam would be proud because Cody had a chair on him. You know what I'm saying? Cody's pumping up, and yeah, he goes through a dive through the ropes, but eats a chair. Let's get a little wonky there. Andrade gets backdropped on the bare concrete. Yikes, ouch. Cody is bleeding. And Cody brings out a sledgehammer, and the fans are like, oh, he's turning heel right now. But he tosses it away. Cody brings out a golden shovel, which essentially is the same symbolism, right? Jose, I'm glad they told me it was Jose. I didn't know it was Jose because he was looking all buff and stuff. Runs down with no shirt. The announcers tell us he has a taser, which I could hear the taser, but it's like, you're going to do the spot. You already have the sound effects going. Like, show him with the taser. Like, I missed it. Did they clearly show him with a taser in his hand? It was just so chaotic. It was so crazy. It's like I couldn't even comprehend what was going on. I mean, I could, but I'm thinking, okay, the announcers are telling me that there's a taser, but like I need to, like, I can't see it. I don't know if the danger's there. It's like you say that somebody's coming at you with a knife, which Andrade did have a knife at the beginning of this match for whatever reason. I could clearly see it. They say it on commentary. They say the threat is there. I can see with my eyeballs that the threat is there. I could only hear the taser. I wanted to see it. Would it have made the match any better? Probably not. I just saying I wanted to see the danger. I wanted to see the taser. I didn't see it. But I guess like a lot of people who get tasered, you probably don't see it coming, but you sure as heck feel it. You know what I mean? Well, I couldn't feel it, but I could hear it at least. So anyways, Andrade brings out a table awkwardly. And by that, I mean, he slides it through the ropes. One of the legs were down. I don't know why he didn't fix it because he could clearly see it right in front of his face. So they awkwardly put this thing all wonky in the corner, and Cody takes a hip toss through the table, which it does break, but it doesn't look great, I guess. I don't know. It looked chaotic, so I guess that was the point. Cody, he drops Andrade through, well, hold on a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, yeah, Andrade gets another table. He gets stuck in the ropes again, and I'm like, how is this man continuously getting table stuck? Like, has he never put a table in the ring? Like, I refuse to believe that this is the thing that could happen. So, as this table is getting set up, a hooded figure comes in the ring, and it's looking kind of petite. And I'm like, I wonder who that could be. Surprise, surprise, Brandy has returned, and she's got lighter fluid in her hand. And I'm like, what? So she's like spraying this lighter fluid, and she's like all hooded up. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously she wanted to have the anti-burn stuff, like the flame retardant stuff or whatever. She had that all on to protect herself. She sprays this, lights it up. There's a big fire there on the table. Both of these guys are on top of the turnbuckles, and Cody drops Andrade through the table. This man's on fire. Cody, he lands in the fire, and I'm like, well, that wasn't very smart of him. And now it all makes sense to me. I'm like, oh, Cody had like anti-flame gel on him, but I guess it peeled off or whatever. Brutal. So that sucks. I mean, maybe that people just assumed Cody had a sunburn and like it wasn't this flame gel stuff that they put on him or whatever. Maybe most fans won't get that, but I just like when I saw him go through the flames, I was like, well, I guess the flames didn't hurt that much, which, flames are hot. They burn, you feel the pyro from your seats, which are at a show. It burned, like it's hot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that it didn't hurt Cody, but clearly it didn't hurt Cody as much as it normally would. You know what I'm saying? So I guess WWE just did it better in the past, or they didn't actually use gel like that, which I think that they have. I think that like they did in previous incarnations of this, right? So yeah, Cody gets the win here in his hometown, and people are clapping and they're happy. So I don't know if that was supposed to be some kind of heel turn because Brandy was back and he had the golden shovel and the sledgehammer. But people genuinely seemed to be happy and they were clapping. Like I kept looking at people in the crowd and they were clapping and they were happy. And it's like they beat Andrade. Oh yeah, that's awesome. It was a street fight. So yeah. So is that what they wanted? I'm so confused. Is Brandy gonna start wrestling now? Because we got the TBS title. Is she gonna is she gonna be a babyface and go get that thing? I can't really see that happening. I know that people were clapping tonight, but when I look at this, I think to myself, it's only a matter of time until everybody is booing Cody and Brandy out of the ring. I mean, the moment that Brandy gets on the microphone and starts cutting a promo, hmm, I don't think that they're going to remain baby faces. That's all I'm saying. But that was AEW Dynamite, and yeah, we just wrapped up Thanksgiving. I got to eat some good food, got to hang out with some family and friends. That was nice. Christmas is only 3 weeks away. Oh my goodness, I gotta buy some presents. I gotta get this thing going. You know what I'm saying? But you can follow me on Twitter at MXW Chronics. I have a Twitch, which is twitch.tv/donut_space. Got those links in the description. And I will catch you guys next time.